The hangman had already tied the knot when Sheriff Caleb Rusk stepped onto the gallows and saw Eliza Hawthorne standing in the mud below, holding her father's old Bible against her chest. The judge shouted, "Do your duty, Sheriff." But Caleb did not reach for the lever. He reached for his gun. And in that same breath, 3 rifles rose from the crowd, all aimed at the woman he had sworn not to love. Before we ride back to where this all began, tell me where you're listening from tonight. If this kind of frontier story speaks to you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts below. And if you have ever seen mercy come too late, or justice come at a cost, I'd be honored to hear your story. Mercy Creek was the kind of town where every lie left a footprint. It sat between dry hills and cattle fences, with one main street, one church bell, one saloon, and one jail that smelled of iron, old coffee, and regret. Sheriff Caleb Rusk kept that jail cleaner than most men kept their homes. His badge was polished, his rifle was oiled, his word was final. Folks said Caleb had no heart left. They were wrong. He had one. He had simply buried it beside his wife, 12 years earlier, under a crooked cottonwood tree. That Monday morning, Caleb stood inside his office, reading the judge's order for the 3rd time. Thomas Hawthorne was to hang at sunrise in 2 days, convicted of murdering a land agent named Milton Greer. Sentence approved by Judge Elias Vane. No delay, no appeal. Caleb folded the paper and placed it beside his coffee. Deputy Jonah Reed leaned against the wall, hat in his hands. He was 26, nervous, and too soft for frontier law. "You think Hawthorne done it?" Jonah asked. Caleb did not look up. "The court thinks so." "That ain't what I asked." Caleb's eyes lifted, cold and tired. "Careful, deputy. Doubt is a fine thing until it gets a man killed." Before Jonah could answer, a horse screamed outside. Both men turned. Through the dusty window, Caleb saw a chestnut mare stumble in the street. A young woman slid from the saddle before the animal fully stopped. Her blue dress was torn at the hem. Her face was burned by sun and wind. She carried no pistol, only a brass locket at her throat and desperation in her eyes. She pushed through the sheriff office door like the world was chasing her. "Sheriff Rusk?" Caleb stood. "I'm Eliza Hawthorne." Jonah's face changed at the name. Caleb kept still. "If you came about your father, the order has been signed. My father did not kill Milton Greer. Jury said he did. The jury was afraid of Judge Vane." Caleb's jaw tightened. In Mercy Creek, folks did not speak against the judge. Not in daylight, not within earshot of windows. Eliza stepped closer. "My father found something on our land, something Greer wanted. The next day, Greer was dead, and my father's hunting knife was in his chest." Caleb said, "Was it his knife?" "Yes." "Then you understand how that looks. I understand how a trap looks." Her voice broke, but she did not cry. That bothered Caleb more than tears would have. He had seen liars weep. He had seen guilty men pray. But this woman stood like someone holding up a roof with both hands. Caleb walked to the cell door. Thomas Hawthorne sat inside on the cot, grey-bearded and hollow-eyed. He looked less like a killer than a tired rancher waiting for winter. "Eliza," Thomas whispered. She rushed to the bars and took his hand. Caleb watched the old man's fingers close around hers. For one brief moment, the sheriff remembered his own daughter, dead before she was old enough to speak more than 3 words. Fever had taken her. Grief had taken his wife later. He turned away. Eliza looked back at him. "Sheriff, my mother used to say, a lawful man can still be a coward if he hides behind paper." Jonah drew in a breath. Caleb's face hardened. "Your mother didn't know me." "No," Eliza said softly. "But maybe she knew men like you." The room went silent. Outside, the saloon doors creaked in the wind. Caleb should have ordered her out. He should have told Jonah to fetch the mare and send her home. Instead, he asked, "What did your father find?" Eliza opened the brass locket at her throat. Inside was not a picture. It held a folded scrap of yellow paper, worn soft from years of touching. She placed it on Caleb's desk. He unfolded it. At first, it looked like nothing but part of an old land deed. Then he saw the courthouse seal, and beneath that seal was a signature, Elias Vane. Caleb stared at it. Jonah whispered, "Sheriff." Before Caleb could answer, a gunshot cracked outside. The office window shattered. Eliza dropped to the floor. Caleb shoved the jail door open and pulled her behind the iron stove. Another shot tore through the wall, knocking dust from the ceiling. Thomas Hawthorne shouted, "They followed her." Caleb drew his revolver and moved to the broken window. Across the street, near the blacksmith shed, a rider in a grey coat turned his horse hard toward the canyon road. Caleb saw only one thing clearly. The rider wore a deputy's silver star, but it was not Jonah's. And in Mercy Creek, there was only one other man with the right to wear one. A dead man. Caleb Rusk had buried Deputy Aaron Bell 3 winters ago. He had stood beside the grave himself while sleet tapped against the pine coffin. Aaron had been crooked in small ways, but not enough to earn a bullet. At least, that was what Caleb had believed. Now a rider wearing Aaron's old silver star had just fired through his office window. Caleb ran into the street with his revolver drawn. "Jonah, stay with the girl." But Eliza was already on her feet. "That man knows something about my father," she said. Caleb turned on her. "You want to help him? Then stay alive." For once, she obeyed. Caleb swung onto his black gelding and rode hard after the grey-coated rider. Dust flew behind him. The canyon road twisted past dry brush, broken fence posts, and a line of buzzards circling over a dead steer. The rider was fast, but Caleb knew every bend. Near the old mission ruins, the man's horse stumbled. Caleb raised his gun. "Stop, or I'll drop you." The rider pulled up. Slowly, he turned. It was not a ghost. It was a thin man with a scar along his mouth, and Aaron Bell's badge pinned crooked on his coat. Caleb rode closer. "Name." The man smiled. "Name don't matter. What matters is you got 1 day to hang Hawthorne and forget that girl came to town. Who sent you?" The man glanced toward the ridge. Caleb knew that look. Fear. Before Caleb could move, a rifle cracked from above. The scarred man jerked in the saddle and fell hard into the dust. Caleb fired twice toward the ridge, but the hidden shooter was gone. He dismounted and searched the dead man's coat. In one pocket, he found a folded receipt from Pike Cattle Company. In the other, he found a small key stamped with a courthouse mark. Caleb's stomach went cold. By sundown, he was back in Mercy Creek. Eliza sat in the sheriff office, white-faced but steady. Thomas Hawthorne watched from the cell, gripping the bars. Caleb placed the key on his desk. Eliza looked at it. "What is that?" "A courthouse records key." Jonah swallowed. "Sheriff, maybe we ought not go poking in Judge Vane's business." Caleb looked at his deputy. Jonah's eyes dropped. There was guilt there. Not guilt like murder. Guilt like a man who had kept quiet too long. "What do you know?" Caleb asked. Jonah rubbed both hands over his face. "The night Greer died, I saw Judge Vane's carriage behind the courthouse. Pike was with him. They had a strong box. I figured it was court papers. And you said nothing. I got a mother and 2 little sisters. Pike owns the house they live in." Eliza stepped toward him. "My father is going to hang because you were afraid." Jonah flinched, as if she had struck him. Caleb picked up his hat. "Then we stopped being afraid tonight." The courthouse stood at the end of Main Street, tall and dark. with white pillars that looked clean only in moonlight. Caleb, Eliza, and Jonah entered through the rear door. Inside, the air smelled of paper, dust, and candle wax. The key opened the records room. They searched by lantern light. There were land deeds stacked by county, cattle claims, tax liens, water rights, and old maps of ranch borders. Then Eliza found a drawer with fresh scratches around the lock. "Sheriff," she whispered. Inside was a deed for the Hawthorne Ranch, but it had been changed. The original boundary line ran to the creek and the north pasture. The new one cut the Hawthorne land nearly in half and gave the water rights to Gideon Pike. At the bottom was Thomas Hawthorne's name, forged. Eliza pressed a hand over her mouth. "My father can barely write since the stroke in his right hand." Caleb examined the ink. This was signed recently. Jonah lifted another paper from the drawer. His face went pale. "What is it?" Caleb asked. Jonah handed it over. It was a death report for Milton Greer, written and sealed before Greer had been killed. Caleb read the date twice. Eliza whispered, "They planned it." A floorboard creaked outside the records room. Caleb blew out the lantern. A voice came from the hall. "Judge Elias Vane." "Sheriff Rusk," he called gently. "I wondered how long it would take your dead heart to start beating again." Caleb raised his revolver. Then another voice spoke from the darkness. Thomas Hawthorne's voice. Weak, broken. "Eliza, don't move." Caleb turned slowly. At the far end of the hall, two of Pike's men stood with rifles. Between them was Thomas Hawthorne, dragged from his cell, with a rope already around his neck. Thomas Hawthorne stood in the courthouse hall with a rope around his neck. Eliza went still. Caleb had seen brave men freeze at the sight of a noose. But Eliza did not freeze from fear. She froze because one wrong breath might cost her father his life. Judge Elias Vane stepped from the shadows. Clean coat, silver hair, calm eyes. "You should have stayed in your office, Sheriff." Caleb kept his revolver low. "You forged Hawthorne's deed." Vane smiled sadly. "I corrected a boundary dispute. You wrote Greer's death report before he died." This time, Vane's smile faded. Gideon Pike came from behind him, broad as a barn door, his cattleman's hat pulled low. "Greer got soft," Pike said. "He wanted to return the papers, said old Hawthorne deserved his land." Eliza's voice shook. "So you killed him?" Pike looked at her as if she were a fence post in his way. "I killed a problem." Caleb's thumb rested on the hammer of his revolver. Vane lifted one hand. "Shoot!" and Hawthorne drops. One of Pike's men tightened the rope. Thomas coughed. Caleb lowered his gun. Vane nodded. "That is better. Tomorrow morning, the hanging will go on as ordered. The crowd will see you do your duty. Then this unpleasant matter will be finished." Eliza looked at Caleb. For the first time, she looked disappointed. That cut deeper than any bullet. Pike's men took the papers. They locked Caleb, Jonah, and Eliza in the records room. Thomas was dragged back toward the jail. For a long while, no one spoke. Then Eliza whispered, "I thought you were different." Caleb sat against the wall. So did my wife. Eliza turned. Caleb reached into his vest and pulled out the small brass locket. He had taken it from his desk before leaving the office. "I opened it again before we came here," he said. "There was more than that deed scrap inside." Eliza frowned. "What?" Caleb opened the back plate with his knife. A folded piece of paper slipped out. Her mother's handwriting covered it. It said Judge Vane had taken money from Pike years ago. It also named one witness, Deputy Aaron Bell. Jonah stared. "Aaron wasn't killed by outlaws." "No," Caleb said. "He was killed because he knew." Jonah's face hardened in a way Caleb had never seen. By dawn, Mercy Creek gathered around the gallows. The church bell rang once. Thomas Hawthorne stood on the trapdoor, pale but upright. Eliza stood below in the mud, holding her father's Bible. Judge Vane called out, "Do your duty, Sheriff." Caleb stepped forward. He saw 3 rifles lift from the crowd, all aimed at Eliza, just like he had known they would. But he did not reach for the lever. He reached for his gun. Pike shouted, "Now!" Before his men could fire, Jonah Reed stepped from the church tower with Aaron Bell's old rifle. 3 shots cracked, not at men, at gun barrels. The rifles flew from the hands of Pike's hired killers. Then the church doors opened. Inside stood half the town, along with Preacher Amos, holding the hidden letter Caleb had passed to him through the records room window. Jonah's mother stood beside him. So did the blacksmith, the barber, and 2 jurors from Thomas Hawthorne's trial. They had all heard Pike confess through the thin courthouse wall the night before, while Caleb had kept him talking. Vane's face went grey. Pike reached for his pistol. Caleb shot the weapon from his hand. Nobody died. That was the part Mercy Creek remembered most. Caleb walked to the gallows and cut the rope from Thomas Hawthorne's neck. The old man fell into Eliza's arms. Judge Vane was taken in chains. Pike too, not by Caleb alone, but by the town they had frightened for years. Weeks later, Thomas returned to his ranch. The true deed was restored. The north pasture stayed Hawthorne land. Caleb took off his badge one evening and laid it on his desk. Eliza found him there. "You quitting?" she asked. "I followed orders too long," he said. "Maybe it's time I followed what's right." She touched the brass locket at her throat. "And where will you go?" Caleb looked toward the road, then toward her. "I reckon that depends on whether your father needs help mending fences." Eliza smiled through tears. For the first time in 12 years, Caleb Rusk smiled back. And when the desert wind moved through Mercy Creek that night, it no longer sounded like judgment. It sounded like a second chance.